And welcome to day 152 of reading the whole Bible this year, one day at a time, chronologically. Today we are on 2 Chronicles chapter 1 and Psalm 72. So let's get to it. 2 Chronicles 1 is going to mirror our passage from yesterday out of 1 Kings. The reason for that is that these two accounts of Israel, Chronicles and Kings, are going to split off in different directions. Kings steps in right with the end of David, beginning of Solomon's reign, and is going to follow the line of kings in the northern kingdom in Israel. Chronicles, 2 Chronicles, is going to carry on from David's death to Solomon, the final king of a united Israel, and then it's going to stay with Judah and present the history of Israel through the lens of the covenant with David and Jerusalem as the seat of Yahweh's power and rule over Israel. Chronicles is going to keep us in that lane. And so we have a very similar but slightly different depiction of the events that mirror 1 Kings 3 and 4. Here it has the same kind of thing. Solomon asks for wisdom. He goes up to offer sacrifices and to bless God at Gibeon. And it gives a little more detail, a little different details here than in the account in Kings. One of the things, it says he offers like 1,000 sacrifices, and it may not have been 1,000. It's probably a number just to say he offered tons of sacrifices. He offered sacrifices all day. He offered sacrifices for maybe even multiple days, but just that there were so many sacrifices offered that it was just this immense, overwhelming number. And then up to the point where God speaks to him and reveals to him, yes, I will give you what you ask for. What is it? And Solomon says, give me wisdom that I can rule the people well. And so he does. And then where in 1 Kings, it gave us an account of, displaying Solomon's wisdom, right? The two women and the baby. In 2 Chronicles, it jumps right to, look how God fulfilled his promise to Solomon, how he was faithful to the promise he gave him. And so it gives us some accounting of all of the wealth that is generated under Solomon's rule and these good things that he did for the benefit and power and wealth of Israel. And all of those things largely match the account in 1 Kings 10. Now in Psalm 72, we have an example of the prayer that Solomon offers before the Lord, that the king would be full of justice and righteousness. May he judge your people with righteousness and your poor with justice. Let the mountains bear prosperity and the hills righteousness. May he defend the cause of the poor of the people, give deliverance to the children of the needy, and crush the oppressor. All of this, let Israel be a shining example in the hands and feet. Let Israel be the arm of the Lord reaching into this world. Let Israel be, but through the king, led into righteousness and justice and all of these things, and all this good stuff that should be, all these things that align with the description of the requirements of the king in Deuteronomy, all these ways that may the king lead the people into prosperity as they serve and fear the Lord. And that is his overwhelming prayer here. And then it concludes with the prayers of David, the son of Jesse, are ended. And so that's kind of concluding also the prayers of David and allowing the Psalms to move into a different area after that. As I look at these passages today and as I reflect on Solomon's, first acts of praising and seeking the Lord and then asking for wisdom so that he can lead well, that really speaks to me, not just for me in leadership too, and I want to be a pastor like Solomon was a king and that, but even more. Check this out. Solomon's words is recorded here in 2 Chronicles. Give me now wisdom and knowledge to go out and come in before this people, for who can govern this people of yours, which is so great. He doesn't even seek all of that for himself so that he can be good. He says, let me do this for your people. Give me what I need to lead your people well, because they're great because of your name attached to them. And so how can I honor that? How can I do that? Make me able to leverage my position to be a blessing to the people on your behalf. And I think that right there, man, if that was the general daily prayer for all of us, that as we are seeking the Lord, as we are looking to him for wisdom and knowledge and insight and everything else, if we look to him seeking, Lord, make me the kind of person that can be a blessing to those, work through me to bless the people around me, whoever that is, classmates, co-workers, family members, random strangers on the street, people in the church, wherever it is. I think that would take us a huge step further in the direction of seeing the kingdom of heaven exhibited here on this earth as we leverage whatever it is we have for the kingdom, led by God, not just doing stuff and going like, look, I did this for you, but Lord, lead me to be the person who does this well. Give me the empowerment and the spiritual gifts that I need to do that. And so that's my prayer today. What about you? What stands out? What speaks to you in all of this? I'd love to hear it. Let's talk about it in the chat on the Bible app or on this video. In the meantime, be rad for Jesus.